Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and welcome to the next part of my Star Wars movie saga review series. This time we'll be going into the all-time best of the original trilogy, in most opinion, including my own, and that being Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Now, this movie came out in 1980, and has the starring main cast of Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, Harrison Ford as Han Solo, and Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia, bringing in the awesome voice of James Earl Jones as Darth Vader himself. Now, this movie takes place about 3 years after the events of the previous movie, in which after the Rebels did something rather bad in the previous movie, we now have them being on the planet of Hoth, hiding out from the Empire. Now, while this is going on, Darth Vader is trying to hunt down Luke Skywalker because he apparently has some sort of connection to him. And once they find the Rebels on the planet of Hoth, they then have probably one of the all-time best wide-scale battles, and not just Star Wars, but cinema history, the Battle of Hoth. And after the Rebels escape, he is then, well, Luke Skywalker is then told by the ghost of Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Ben Kenobi I like to call him, to go to the planet of Dagobah in order to be trained as a Jedi from the all-time Grand Master himself, Yoda. And while that's happening, you have Han and Leia kind of trying to escape the Empire from chasing them, which then leads them to a certain planet I won't be mentioning, and then something bad happens, and then something bad happens to Han Solo, and then you come to the all-time climactic battle between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, in which a secret reveal is made, which will change everything in Star Wars. Now, I'm going to come out and say it right now. This is a great Star Wars film. It's probably my all-time second favorite Star Wars movie of all time, though it has some problems. But I'm going to go into what I really like about this film. What I like about this film is that I felt the plot moved at a much better pace than the previous film, and stuff actually happened. I liked how we were starting to get an idea of the type of character that Luke would develop into, and it's really in this movie that you kind of start to see why many people compare him so much to Anakin Skywalker, and why both Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi have their fears about what Luke could be. But Luke obviously doesn't go down that path, and I really like how Darth Vader is much more involved. And you kind of start to sense that there was more to his character at this point in time than we initially thought. Another thing I really like about this movie is some of its visuals. They still hold up to this day, and I would even go as far as to say that the final lightsaber battle between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader is pretty intense, although to me, I rank it as like my number 3 favorite fight of all time. And I have to be honest, when I first saw this when I was a kid, the reveal of Darth Vader being who he is to Luke Skywalker, I didn't think it was all that shocking, but all I knew was it was going to change the tone of the next film. Now, I'm going to go into the couple things I don't like about this film. I openly do not like the relationship between Han Solo and Princess Leia. I've never liked relationships in Star Wars. It just brings the entire plot to a screeching halt. I'm going to come out and say it. I openly, unless that is the point of a movie, don't put it in your movie. I do not like love stories in movies in general, unless we have spent a significant amount of time with this relationship. I felt that this relationship kind of came out of nowhere, and it was the stereotypical, you know, motivation of, oh, they're going to start hating each other, and then they're going to fall in love, and then it gets all mushy, and I hate that. And I also don't like how Princess Leia makes out with her brother, although some people have defended it saying, oh, they didn't know at the time, so it's innocent. No, it is still incest. It's disgusting. Whoever wrote that needs to be fired, because I hate that. I mean, there's several problems I have with this film, but overall, it is still a very, very good Star Wars film. I understand why people consider it to be the best of the originals, and I would agree. It's still very enjoyable. In fact, I would say below Revenge of the Sith, this is probably the one Star Wars film I've probably seen probably the second most of. There's still a lot of redeeming qualities. There are things that they could have fixed, and just to go on a little bit of a rant. What was the obsession with Boba Fett at the time? I mean, I understand that he was a badass bounty hunter, but he really doesn't do much in this film. So I never really got the attraction of Boba Fett, and it certainly does not help him when we get to Return of the Jedi. As you can tell, I do have my problems with The Empire Strikes Back, but I acknowledge that it is still a great film. It's probably most people's all-time favorite Star Wars film. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's still most people's favorite Star Wars film of all time, and I completely understand why. If I had to give this movie a rating, I'm going to give it a very well-deserved B+. I don't think I need to tell you to see this movie any chance you get. You probably have seen it more times than any other Star Wars film that you've seen, but that's not really the case for me. If you like my movie review, feel free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to track me in my future movie reviews. And please join me in the next episode as we will be closing off my Star Wars review series with Return of the Jedi. So, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and may the Force be with you.